Sir, for our investors and clients who onboard with us, what is the mindset that they should have? What is the temperament that they should build during a certain drawdown or during times of underperformance? What is the right profile of investors, especially when they build a mindset to give a one-third allocation of their wealth to global quant trading firm such as yours? What is the right temperament to have?
I think any investor can say it's whatever we do, it's not that complicated, I think. So I think what is missing is, since this product is not a very popular product, it's not quite educated product. So I think the onus should be on us, you, me, to make sure that we educate people on this, because it just needs little bit of understanding. And I think anybody can invest in these kind of products. They are, in my opinion, doesn't put too much pressure on you in terms of large drawdowns. But that couple of things that we have struggled in the past when we try to talk to. That's why we always prefer to work with institutions, because it's easy explainability for them. But the couple of struggle points for us in the past have been two. One is, as I told you in the beginning of the conversation as well, there are typically two kinds of alternatives. One, which are FD plus plus, we call them, like risk slightly higher than FD, 2-3% risk as compared to zero risk in FD, but providing 2x return of FD. And the ones which are slightly lesser risky than equity, like if equities standard deviations are 14%, 15%, they'll give you 8-9% standard deviation, but give you maybe higher returns than equity. Right? What happens that when people come to quant, especially quant part of alternative, they believe, sometimes they believe it's some magic, like we are doing some magic thing, and we'll provide this risk, the FD wala risk of 2%, the equity plus plus returns. So these are two separate products, but what they do is they'll take risk from here, and they take return from here, and they say, this is the product I want. Which sometimes what happens, some people promise them as well, right? But that never happens. See, one thing which is, you being a veteran yourself in market side, there's no free lunch. There can be better product or worse product, but there's nothing free. There's no way of making higher returns without taking higher risk. It doesn't happen. It never worked, never happened, will never happen, right? There's always an element of risk. So this confusion sometimes create a lot of issues for us. People come to us expecting this return, but this risk. And though we explain them that we are operating at these risk return levels, but they assume something different. They're not listening. They assume something different. And then they struggle. Okay, we thought this is free, this is safe. How can if I'm promising you 25-30% returns, how can it be safe? See, there's no way I'm providing 25-30% return without taking risk. It's not even possible, right? So this is one challenge sometimes we face, that these are two separate products. This is 10-12% return for 2-3% risk. This is 25-30% return with 7-8% risk. These are two separate products, need to be looked at separately and see which fits your profile and consume accordingly. That is one challenge we face. Second challenge that we face, and that happens even with our institution guys, is that whenever drawdown happens, see, the way we build a machine, right, it's so many components to it, right? So many exchanges, so many instruments, so many strategies, so many alpha, so much of risk layer, allocation layer, right? It's not possible for me as well to predict when the drawdown will come, all right, and why the drawdown will come, right? So what happens when your drawdown happens? The explainability of drawdowns in a quant fund like us is much lower than, let's say, in a traditional investment class. If COVID में पूरा मार्केट 40% गिर गया और आपका पोर्टफोलियो भी 40% गिर गया, तो आप जाके अपने फंड मैनेजर से ये नहीं पूछोगे कि मेरा 40% क्यों गिरा. आप बोलोगे भाई समझ में आता है मेरे को, निफ्टी आधा हो गया, मेरा पोर्टफोलियो 40% है. ये आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. आपको एक्चुअली फंड मैनेजर से मिलने की भी जरूरत नहीं है ये समझने के लिए कि 40% का डाउन तो बड़ा होता है. But फिर भी you don't need a meeting with fund manager to get an explanation कि भाई मेरा drawdown क्यों आया, because you understand that intuitively. In our business, if I promise someone 7-8% drawdown and I say 6% का drawdown भी अगर आता है, so explainability for us also is very low. They ask me क्यों आया, and a lot of times even we don't can only thing we can say कि thousands of trades went wrong. There's no other explainability. There's no other factor on which I can put blame for this. Right? It's not end of the quant world. It has happened in the past. It will happen in the future. It's not like my models are suddenly underperforming, because what happens that in that brief 2 months, you feel this machine is stupid. It's taking all kinds of, because thousands of trades have gone down, right? So you say, अरे यार 1000 बेवकूफ ट्रेड ले लिए, कितनी बुद्धू मशीन है, 1000 ट्रेड गलत ले ली, right? Well, it looks very foolish from outside. Whenever drawdown happens, it looks very foolish from outside, and it becomes very, very difficult for us to explain to our investors the way machine is being built. There's a lot of things goes behind the scene, and it's very difficult even for us to give a right kind of explanation. It's just, since returns are absolute, where we don't explain कि भाई market ऊपर गया इसलिए हमने पैसे कमाया, नीचे गया तो हमने पैसे कमाया. We made money absolute. Or risk is also absolute. There's no explainability behind it. And someone who understands that and still goes ahead with us is a very important part. That key drawdown जब आएगा, तब there's no like I can do a 3-hour call and explain in कि क्यों आया. I will only say what happened. Like these many trades gone wrong. There's no other factor on which I can put blame on. So ये problem आती है. But I think with education, with more popularity, with more funds like us coming to the market, more people investing in these kind of products, I think it will become easier for people as well.